Time is starting to run out for Rhodes.
Yeah, I've felt in a lot of the rounds, Rhodes hasn't put the snap into the punches. He's been topping with them, which is fine if you're amassing points and they're not being hit back. But at a couple of times he's went right onto the front foot and put snap into the punches. He's had success. Alvarez has always come back with something better.
Alvarez will have a huge points advantage now. The only way Rhodes can win this fight is to knock the Mexican out. Needs to find some way of stopping him. And so far Alvarez has not really been put in trouble, but that's better. Decent right hand from Rhodes, needs more of the same.
I think Rhodes wants to lead off a little bit more often. We've seen that he's not able to counter Alvarez because Alvarez doesn't throw too many single punches. So this would be a good time if Alvarez is going off the pace again. This is good work from Rhodes.
Alvarez trying to land, trying to move forward as again the crowd distracted by some trouble up in the bleachers. Good work from the Mexican champion.
Yeah, well, another round where Alvarez is taking a little bit of time to get going, but it's always better to do your good work in the second half of a round. That's what the judges remember.
Rhodes said, if I win this one, I hope there's a tunnel to get me out of there safely, and certainly there's been some feisty moments in the audience as well in the ring, as well as in the ring.
Rhodes claiming the centre of the ring, pushing Alvarez around. Alvarez has come back with some decent work, but I think this is another good run for Rhodes so far.
Needs to really step on the gas now in the closing 45 seconds of this 9th round. Chance for Alvarez.
There's just no signs of panic whatsoever in Alvarez's work. There's as though he realises he can't come off the pace. You know, he has plenty of points in the bank. He's comfortable. So quite happy just to come off the pace for a round or so, and that's what he's done in this round.
He's young in terms of years, Jim, but you have to respect the maturity of the performance.
Yeah, there's never been any panic whatsoever. He's looked so comfortable. This has not been a great round for him, but as I say, no panic in his attitude or in his boxing.
Well, better round for Ryan Rhodes. Rhodes perhaps doing enough to win that one. Certainly did better. Well, whether or not he's going to claim the judge's card in such a passionate atmosphere is another question.
No, but I think the couple of rounds that I've scored to Rhodes is because Alvarez has come off the pace as though he's almost gifted the rounds. But there's always that feeling, he has the look of a man who, whenever he wants to take charge, he can switch on and do that. He didn't do it too often there. In the 9th round, really, I don't see any hope. If the Rhodes camp are hoping he's going to tire, really, I don't hold out much hope myself. He is a good 12-round fighter, and he's controlled the pace in this one all the way through.
9 rounds completed then. Rhodes was down in the 4th. Alvarez has dominated much of what's followed, and he'll have a huge points advantage. Rhodes needs 3 extraordinary rounds if he's going to get back into this. Like Matthew Hatton, if he goes the distance, he'll take credit for going 12 rounds against a terrific young talent, although there'll be those who, on the other side of the coin, will say, does Alvarez punch quite as hard as his reputation suggests?
Well, I thought Alvarez would have gone for the knockout a little bit more than he has done. As I said earlier, I remember after the Matthew Hatton fight, the corner, although they won the world title, they didn't look too happy. They wanted to launch this young man as a superstar, and I don't think they were happy that the fight went the full 12 rounds. I thought that there was a bit more urgency. They would have been looking for the knockout, but he's just looked so comfortable, so solid, you can't fault his technique, although he's going about the job. It doesn't really look as though he really is going for the knockout.
Ryan Rhodes' first fight outside the United Kingdom, this in his 50th professional fight. What a place to choose, or to be awarded for a first time to fight here. In Mexico, Howard Winston lost back in 1967 against Vicente Saldivar. Andy Holligan, 1993, taken apart in 5 rounds by Julio Cesar Chavez. Only John H. Stracey has come here and emerged as a British fighter, as a champion. The dice were always loaded against Ryan Rhodes. My word, they are now.
Yeah, digging in those uppercuts again. Alvarez standing his ground, taking charge, bullying Rhodes again. Letting the punches flow now.
Looking for the big finish, perhaps, again, here in the 10th round. Rhodes just forced to give ground and looked a little bit disorganised as he went back to the ropes. He's bravely trying to respond, but it's all Alvarez now.
Yeah, Rhodes has been forced onto survival mode now. No snapping his own punches. When he's pushed back to the ropes, his body weight is pushed back. So Alvarez can walk right through and get his own punches off.
Alvarez took a lot out of himself, though, in that attack. Maybe just a chance for Rhodes to do something in these closing 30 seconds. Talked about the fitness of Saul Alvarez. I think Rhodes as well, at the age of 34, has shown that his conditioning's terrific to still be in there after absorbing so much. Chants go up from the back. The flags are flying for Alvarez.
Well, he seemed to look for the knockout a minute or so ago. It didn't come, so he settled back down again, get another round into the bank. Just back to that comfortable, solid look again about his boxing.
Well, he had the big attack, didn't follow it up. Rhodes survives, but the champion dominates once more. Go to work on the cut again. Let's see if we can hear what they're saying in the corner. I don't think the microphone's switched on there. But Dave Caldwell will know that there's only one way Rhodes can win this now.
Yeah, and again he was hit with some sickening punches, some body shots, the uppercuts again. There it is. Says Rhodes can do nothing. He does the right things defensively, but Alvarez still finds a way through to the chin and completely takes charge whenever he decides to.
Well, how impressed have you been with Alvarez so far, Jim? I know you raised a few questions after his performance against Matthew Hatton. You weren't entirely sold on him. I think he's moved on at stage here.
Yep, I think he has. And when we say he's not the complete article, which is probably true, but he's done absolutely nothing wrong tonight. He's always had a comfortable look about his boxing, a solid look. He's never been in any panic about anything. And just any time he's decided to take the play away, he's been able to do that. And you have to admire the patience as well. I mean, a young kid of 20 on his first defence, you would think he'd be looking for a knockout, an early knockout. But there's been such a control about his boxing, which is impressive.
There's a control indeed about his work, and one which I'm sure impresses Mexican commentators. Marco Antonio Barrera, Julio Cesar Chavez, among those who commentate for Mexican television, and this is a man following in the line of Mexican heroes.
Well, Rhodes turned to southpaw there, and immediately Alvarez fired from a straight right, straight to the mouth of Rhodes. A solid shot. Rhodes doesn't know whether to box orthodox, southpaw. Nothing that he's done has confused this young man or knocked him off his stride. Just still that comfortable, solid look that we've seen from round one.
There's been a greater economy about his work than we saw back in March. I think he's picked his punches better. That's good for Rhodes. The body shot dug into the solar plexus of Alvarez, and I just think for a moment he felt the weight of the Sheffield man's punch. But a little bit too late, one senses.
Yeah, well, Alvarez doesn't waste too many punches, which is impressive. Which is the reason I don't think the pace is that sickening uppercut again. Which, any hopes they have of him running out of steam, I don't see that happening. Rhodes is still looking lively, his legs are looking strong, he's still trying to come forward. but you still feel the quality punches coming from the champion.
Rhodes is gambling now, looking for the right-hand bomb. Turned off the ropes by Alvarez, who landed a left hook of his own. Rhodes knows that he's got to find the big shot, and he was certainly going looking for that there. Teeing off that right hand, trying to bring the cross onto the jaw of Alvarez, but Alvarez sees it coming and responds with a combination of his own.
Yeah, I think Alvarez has been so good defensively as well. We haven't seen his head knocked back with any of the Rhodes' punches. His chin's down, his hands are up. Contact looking, real good solid performance from him here.
Rhodes still up on his toes, still trying to provide a mobile target, and still, when the occasion demands in this 11th round, he's looked to plant his feet and land his own big punches. But again, the greater volume of punches has come from the champion.
Yeah, and I think again Alvarez is finding out that the beat them tough back in Britain.
Well, certainly, Ryan Rhodes has shown his toughness. He's stayed in there, just one round to go now. Look at the face of Alvarez, unmarked near as damn it.
Well done, Brownie.
Looks composed, controlled, and he's not really blowing after 11 rounds of action.
No, but I think that's because he's controlled the pace all the way through. He's come off the pace a couple of times, taken a little breather. But always when Rhodes has come up with good work, this is what Alvarez does, comes back with something just a little bit better. And he knows he's winning this. The corner knows he's winning this. I would have thought maybe he would have gone for an early knockout. Maybe he has done that, but Rhodes' his experience and his toughness, he's still hanging on in there. The full credit to Ryan Rhodes, he is putting up one heck of a show.
Yes, Ryan Rhodes will emerge from this with credit, and he shows that he's still got a lot to offer as a fighter. But unless he can find the big shot now, there's how Jim Watt's got it, and I can't see that the judges can have it very different. They might expect more now for Alvarez, who's looking in this last round to take Rhodes out again. Rhodes is fighting on instinct.
He was not back on his heels from that shot. Seems to be okay now, looking back to his corner, which is not a great sign. He was hurt there.
Again, big right hands from Alvarez. Rhodes is in rocky territory. What bravery from the Sheffield man, but the gloves are down. And it's an inviting target for Alvarez, who rocks it back again with the right hand. And the referee has said no more, and the towel had come in from the corner anyway. And in the 12th round, a dramatic end, and the grandstand finish from the local hero, Saul Alvarez, who is still WBC light middleweight champion of the world. And at 34, Ryan Rhodes' dream is over. Alvarez, the superstar in the making, he may well be.
A tremendous finish from Alvarez. You have to feel sorry for Ryan Rhodes, but it looked as though one punch knocked all the resistance out of Ryan Rhodes. We knew he was losing the fight, the corner knew he was losing the fight, but we'd love to have seen him do the 12 rounds. But that one punch at the start of the round just seemed to knock everything out of him. Alvarez saw his chance, probably the first chance he's had all night long to finish it. He took the chance. At first look, it looked as though the referee maybe had stepped in a little bit quickly, but I see the corner were ready to throw the towel in anyway. No point allowing a man to take punishment when you know he's lost the fight. Feel sorry, I'm sure he would like to have gone out on his shield and, you know, on points. But what a finish from Alvarez when the chance presented itself.
After that right hand had landed a little bit later, he looked disconsolately back to his corner, didn't he, before the final onslaught came. Referee keeping a very close watch on things. Rhodes had given absolutely everything, but then Alvarez saw his opportunity, and it was a merciful intervention and a correct intervention, I think.
Yeah, you can't argue with that, and you see the towel was ready to come in as well. They realised, okay, maybe with Ryan's experience he could have grabbed hold, he could have survived, but you also have to say throughout the 12 rounds Rhodes has never grabbed hold of Alvarez. He's always tried to fight back. He was outgunned all the way through, but he always tried to fight back. It would have been really lovely to see him do the distance, but then the body shot sinking in as well. Rhodes absolutely nothing more to give. So thankfully the referee stepped in, and certainly no complaints from Rhodes or the corner.
Brave effort from Ryan Rhodes, but he just didn't have enough. Saul Alvarez, still the world light middleweight champion.